everybody, it's Patrick.
Hey, it's Jeffrey.
You were gonna try to beat me.
I was.
Just kidding. Oh gosh. Okay. So let's do this again. Action. Hey everybody, it's Patrick.
Hey, it's Jeffrey.
And we're back with another Masters of the Universe Classics Bio Figure Talk.
Yep, we are.
What are we talking about today?
Tri-Klops.
Tri-Klops. Real name.
Really hard to pronounce.
Go for it.
Tridor something scope.
Esonox?
Esonox.
Yeah.
Esunix.
So, that name, though, can we just talk about that for a second?
Yeah, sure.
That's a really, it was great because in the old school, scope was worked in. That I think it maybe wasn't like Dr. Scope, maybe.
Dr. Scope?
No, but Scope was part of his name from back in the day, so I don't mind this, actually. I think it's kind of a cool name. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. Could have been Tri-Scope instead of Tri-Klops.
Tri-Scope. That's kind of cool. Tri-Scope would have been cool.
Tri-Klops sounds very, ancient Greek, kind of.
Well, right, because Cyclops,
Yeah.
Tri-Klops. Okay, we'll go right into the bio and we'll talk about it.
Okay, Tri-Klops. Evil spy for Skeletor. Real name, Tridor Esunix Scope. Originally an interdimensional bounty hunter and tracker, Scope was recruited by Skeletor during one of the final battles of the Great Unrest to bolster his weakened forces. As good with a blade as he is crafty, Scope took on the name Tri-Klops after an accident left him blind and he was forced to wear a tri-optic visor which granted him expanded tracking abilities including gamma vision, the ability to see around objects, distavision, a form of far vision, night vision, and the ability to generate optic blasts. Tri-Klops uses his 3 different eyes to spy for Skeletor.
Oh yeah. Okay, what do you think about the bio?
I like it. I like how they incorporated that he might not just be just like a warrior like a lot of Skeletor. He's a little bit more of like a spy, secret kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of that. And overall, I like the bio, and this is all relatively new to me because the 2002 didn't really have too much of a history of Tri-Klops for me.
No, the cartoon didn't.
Yeah, so I just never really knew too much about him. So this is really, I like how they kind of expanded on, because a lot of this I never really knew about him. I never knew what the different eyes were for. I like how they included that.
Yeah.
And how he came to be part of Skeletor's forces.
Right. No, it's true. Yeah, it definitely gives a good little snapshot. It actually sums up, or it takes a lot from which you never read, but it's the Icons of Evil Tri-Klops that was out in the 2002 series as well that they put out. No, that you didn't put out, that you didn't read, but it was cool. It had a cool story, and it kind of worked some of those elements in. And I like the length of this bio. There's actually nothing about this bio that really bothers me at all. I like that they explain, exactly what you said, that they explain what each eye is supposed to do.
Yeah. Or
has for function.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they work in that sort of bounty hunter, sort of tracking ability kind of thing. When you think of Tri-Klops, do you think of him as an inventor, or do you think of him as a swordsman?
I don't really think of him as that either. I think of him as just a person, part of Skeletor's forces. I don't really identify him with a inventor or swordsman type. I always just think of him as a warrior type person for Skeletor.
In 2002, he was very much that inventor type. Yeah, I mean, he created those little Doom Seekers that flew around all over the place, and he was always in his shop. Kind of. I ask because there are kind of 2 camps, you know, they look at him, a lot of people are divided, they like him much more as the inventor, and then there's other ones that like him much more as the skilled swordsman type.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think of him as more of the inventor myself. I do, yeah. And I don't really know, I think that's just the impression I get more from him than as a skilled swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is because I don't think of him with his sword. I literally think of him more as being maybe more very agile than some of the other of Skeletor's warriors.
Yeah.
But I think of his weapon as being his eyes.
You do?
Yeah.
Whenever I think of him, I always think of like weapon wise. Like I think of his eye, but I also have that image of he and what is it, Mechanic fighting like in the second episode of 2002 in the woods.
Right.
That's an image that I get when I think of him fighting.
Yeah. I think that was really cool. I don't think of it in that way.
Yep.
As much like I don't display my figure with a sword. I just have him on his red eye.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Why his red eye?
Well, because that was the one from Filmation that you would see a lot of, like, the energy beams and stuff coming out of.
Mm-hmm.
That's more how I picture him.
Yeah.
But I like the bio.
Yeah,
and I really like Tri-Klops as a character. I can't even imagine the Masters of the Universe without Tri-Klops. Like, he's another staple figure.
Yeah, he is.
Or as they call him, like an A-lister. He's definitely a key player.
Yeah, he is.
I always kind of liked that maybe there was... I always got the vibe, like, and even when I was little, I kind of always ultimately paired Evelyn up with Skeletor, but I also knew she, like, didn't... Like, there was, a really, like, a backstabbing nature to that.
Oh, really?
And I always pictured, like, Tri-Klops being, like, her real person. Like, her love. Like, maybe, like, she was cheating on Skeletor with... with Tri-Klops. Like, I always pictured it much more like there's that undercurrent tone there, that maybe there's something between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what it was that fueled that. I mean, maybe there was something back in the day, but I don't remember. I just remember thinking...
Well, he was brought into Skeletor's forces at the end of the Great Unrest.
Yeah.
So, like, couldn't have been too far into the past because...
No.
Keldor had already been fighting him for a while.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's an element at all, but there does seem to be some weird Tri-Klops Evelyn tension. Yeah. Anybody else think that out there? Well, so that's the bio. Mm-hmm. Awesome. What about the figure?
We need to post the figure.
Oh, yeah. Let's put the figure up right
about now. You're seeing it. You're seeing it. And now they're not. Okay.
So, Tri-Klops, awesome figure.
He is really cool.
His head is the visor.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that? Because there's some things that are different there from your 2002.
I don't like the eyes look like eyes. I don't
like
ginger
ale, by the way. I'm not drinking. I really like it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, what about his head?
The eyes, I don't like how they look like eyes. I like how I prefer the circles that are the different colors.
Okay, right. So 2002, let's talk about this. 2002, they were circles, and they were just different colors.
Yeah.
Filmation, they were shapes. So that one was a triangle, one was like a square.
Oh, yeah, I can remember that.
Right.
One was a circle.
One was a circle, right.
I think that was the red one that blasted things.
And then this one is from the cardback art, where they were actually all eyeballs, but with different colors. It is a little creepy.
They put eyeballs into this machine that he could put around his head to see.
So out of all three of those types, the Filmation, the 2002, or this, what's your preference?
I think the circles.
The 2002 style. That's very interesting, yeah. Because I don't mind really any of them, but I think that if I were to have any, I think I like the idea of having the Filmation actually more than any of them, but closely followed by this one, and then 2002 would be last.
As I was saying at the beginning, like Cyclops and all the... not Cyclops, but the ancient Greek thing.
Yeah.
This makes him look more like that because he's just got the one eyeball.
Yeah. No, and it does sort of introduce like a creepy factor.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And I think one thing that I like about the circles for his eye is just that it makes him look a little more unhumanish. That something had happened to him that made him like more unhuman. With this, he's just got one eye, so he looks like he's just got one eye that rotates around his head.
I think it'd be cool if they released like additional heads, which probably is never going to happen. But if they did, like if they did like a 2002 styled head and a Filmation styled head, because the rest of the outfit would pretty much work for either of those two heads.
Oh yeah, it would.
But it'd be kind of cool for everybody to be able to display the Tri-Klops that they would like to display. Yeah. And it would be neat if they put those two extra heads in with another repack of Tri-Klops, because then they could charge. And really, it would just be the addition of two heads. Like, maybe lose the Doomseeker, because that came with him.
Yep.
And even maybe lose his sword. and just put Tri-Klops back out with 2 new accessories, 2 more heads. I know that a lot of people would buy the figure over again.
Probably.
And that's not a bad thing. I mean, it gives people that missed out on him the opportunity to get him again.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's the figure. I like the figure a lot.
Me too.
Mine suffers from a couple loose joints, so he's kind of a pain in the butt to stand.
Yep.
Other than that, the other thing I really like about this figure is that his wrists have the 2 same-sized bands.
I knew you were going to mention that.
And that's what He-Man's supposed to have. Yeah. And I wanted to swap him out, but the skin tone is different.
Oh, it is?
So you can't just swap them.
Well, He-Man could have been wearing a t-shirt and have different, and in the summertime, so
Lame.
he's got tan.
Lame. Anything else about the figure?
I don't think so.
Well, I think we could call this one day then. What about the Dune Seeker?
I like the idea. It's something that was in the 2002 series, so I'm not completely opposed to it because that's what was introduced to me. So
I hate it.
You hate it? Way to be blunt about it.
I do. I never cared for it. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. Actually, I like it even less in this line.
But you think of him as an inventor. That's his invention.
I know. But the thing is why I don't like it is, especially in this line, is they painted it the colors of the Wind Raider, which is like He-Man's Filmation flying.
Oh, that's not right. I think of it as like silver.
Right. I would have liked it. I think I would have liked it better silver, but I don't like it at all anyway, so it's in the box.
It's in the box?
I didn't even pull it out.
Ouch. Yeah.
Harsh is right. I'm glad for everybody that likes it that they got it though.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
All right, until the next video,
Good
everybody
journey.
out there, good journey.